Namaste and welcome to our channel. So today we will be discussing with our guest about what is role of nutritionist in our day-to-day life and what are the myths that we can get rid of in our daily life. So carb cutting, intake of protein, intake of supplements. There are several things that we need to discuss in this podcast. So I'll be asking the questions to a professional who has done her graduation, her PG, even she had completed her PhD in nutrition, and she's also acting as a professor in one of the college in Hyderabad. So let's welcome Mrs. Matheen. Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
So, ma'am, coming to your background, a little light on your background, like how is your professional journey? We know you are very much experienced for 25 to 28 years now. So, can you just explain to our viewers, like what is your professional background and your experience into?
Yeah, so I have done my BSc in nutrition and dietetics. I went on and did my PG, my master's in science again in nutrition and dietetics. And I took a break because I got married. I could not pursue my education, but I was working in hospitals even after my master's itself. And then I went on and did my PhD in nutrition. And it's almost now 10 years since I finished my PhD also. And I have been working with various hospitals in India, abroad, and now I've settled now in Hyderabad. I've worked with various corporate hospitals, but now I'm not with a big corporate hospital. I'm with one of the smaller hospitals.
So, ma'am, coming to this nutritionist subject, there are a lot of advices that comes in. There is a lot of noise on the online market. Like whenever we open Instagram or whenever we scroll through YouTube shorts or videos, we have a lot of influencers. You have a lot of celebrities, a lot of family and friends promoting different kind of dietitian plans or dietary requirements. They suggest like you follow this, it will reduce weight. You follow this, it will be good for your health. You follow this, you will cut down your diabetes. So what is the real method for normal person? Can you do this noise reduction in this, like what to follow and what not to follow?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of information out there. It's very, very overwhelming, especially with so much of things on social media, with so many TikTok videos and all that, and so many people doing some sort of following. You follow this kind of new reel, you continue to do this, and all those things are there. But it is very important that you pay attention to who is telling you what. What is the qualification of the person who is telling you to do something? Is it a certified professional? When I say certified, again, the word itself is very, misleading, because a lot of people have just done certificates. They just do a small diploma or a 2-month certification, which is very different from a qualified professional. So if any kind of nutrition advice you want to follow, you should go to any registered dietitian or a clinical nutritionist or somebody who has been practicing in a hospital for at least 8 to 15 years, at least a minimum of 8 years in the clinical sector. They are the ones that you should be listening to, not all the other kinds of people. And also, don't go with all these fads like you should follow this. I have lost so much of weight, so do the same thing and you will also lose weight. That is what generally people say. But don't go by that, because every meal plan, every diet plan should be individualized. Every person is different. What works for one person will not work for the other. You may be belonging to the same family. You may be brothers, sisters, siblings, whatever. But you cannot follow absolutely the same, definitely the same diet plan, word for word. You cannot do that.
Coming to after the noise reduction, most of the things nowadays, what we hear in the traditional conversations when we have about fitness and other things, people always say, reduce your carbs, reduce your carbs. Now, being an Indian, I feel so offended by this thing, by this statement. They say, reduce your carbs. From the day I was born, I was fed with carbs. And suddenly people start saying that you need to completely cut off carbs and shift over to a protein-based diet. So what is your opinion on this carb cutting and protein-based diet for a healthy lifestyle? What is your opinion on this, ma'am?
Yes, first you need to see the reason. Why do you need to cut carbohydrates? Is it required? Has it been recommended by a doctor or a qualified professional? blindly you should not just cut out carbohydrates from your diet. In the Indian mindset, if you see our Indian culture, we are used to eating rice, especially in South India, and even in parts of East India and West Bengal and all that, they're all rice eaters. So you cannot suddenly change your diet and cut down all rice items, all carbohydrates, and jump directly into a high protein diet. You should look at the kind of carbohydrates that you're having. Not all carbohydrates are bad. The ones which are refined carbohydrates, the ones which contain sugar, those are the carbohydrates which are bad. To give you an example, fruits also contain carbohydrates, grains contain carbohydrates, milk products have some carbohydrate, desserts contain carbohydrate. So all the refined ones are the ones that you need to cut out. If you have carbohydrates with lot of fiber, for example, sweet potato. Sweet potato has a lot more fiber. It is a carbohydrate, but it has much more fiber, which means it allows the sugar level in your blood to be controlled, and it allows slow release of sugar, which means your levels will be maintained.
Ma'am, apart from this, because we are on the topic of fruits with sweetness, this is summer season when we are recording this video. So in the midsummer, everyone is fan of mangoes, and typically I am also a very big fan of mangoes, and I consume a lot of mangoes on day-to-day basis. So what is your take on the mango sweetness, and is it a healthy diet to have at least one mango in a day, or is it not advisable for a certain age group? How does this balance depend? Is it on the age and the fruit we are taking, or is it just with other health conditions what a person has?
Well, first and foremost, mango is a seasonal fruit, which means it's only available in this season. So I vouch for the fact that you should eat fruits which are in season, whether it is grapes or guavas or pomegranates or mangoes. So right now we are in the season of mangoes. So absolutely everybody is allowed to go ahead and have mangoes. But if you have some kind of a digestive issue, you're not able to take the intensity of the mango, you're not able to digest it properly, especially people who are older, people who are elderly, if they're not able to digest the entire mango, they can go with small quantities. And young children, sometimes the fruit is not ripened properly. So if the fruit is not ripened properly, then that can cause a stomach upset, especially in young children and older adults. So in those cases, you should have lesser quantity. But otherwise, a healthy, normal adult can go ahead and have a mango. But on the other hand, if you are a diabetic, if you have some kind of a health condition, in which case you're not allowed to have too many sweet items or too many sugary items, in that case, you should stay away from mangoes. But I still say, if you're a diabetic, you crave for mangoes, please go ahead and have maybe about half a mango, not on a daily basis. I would say maybe twice a week or thrice a week. But on those particular days, make sure you do not eat anything more sugary. Cut down on the sweetened or refined carbohydrates that you're having on that particular day.
The supplements, because when we hit the gym, and the gym trainers today, they have their own brands. Like, you don't believe, there are so many trainers out in the market who are running their own brands of supplements. So they are so much into that selling the over the counter. So you have to consume creatine. If you are doing muscle exercises, if you want to do this thing, you need to consume so much of protein. They say your weight divided into something. And with these advices, I came across one of my friend who has been hospitalized because of stones in kidney, and very severe pain he had gone through after visiting the gym and taking these supplements. So I just want to know, is taking the supplement is a bad thing, or what is the requirement of a supplement for a normal person who is an employee who hits the gym for 1 hour or 2 hours? Does really the supplements matter in our lives, ma'am?
Yeah, so tell me about it. I have heard everybody who joins a gym is advised a supplement. So supplements are basically of two types. They may be in pill form or they may be in a powder form. So anytime anybody joins the gym trainer automatically says this is something that you require to build muscle. You need to take so much of supplementation. You need more protein. You're not getting it from the diet. First and foremost, let me say they are not the qualified people to recommend any kind of a supplement, because it is not like the West. Unlike the West, here in India, we have very few certified professionals who are training or working as a trainer in the gym. In the West, they have to go rigorous certification, they have to write regular exams, and then only they are allowed to give that kind of an advice. But that is not so in our country, unfortunately. And as a professional, as a nutrition professional, I do see youngsters, especially on a regular basis. I will easily say at least 2 to 3 youngsters every month I do see who come back to me with this kind of an issue, who have blindly started taking these protein supplements, and then they end up damaging their kidneys. Either one kidney is totally gone, or both the kidneys are damaged, in which case they have to look for a donor, and they all come to the hospital for dialysis. So it's very, very sad to see these youngsters blindly following advice. They're all educated people. They're all people who are, doing medicine or engineering, or even postgraduates, or even IT professionals. So all these youngsters are suffering because of this wrong kind of advice. Coming to the supplementation, look at the word supplement. Supplement means it is something which is extra. It should not be a replacement. It is not something which takes the place of your regular meal. It is just given so that it adds value to your regular diet plan. That also only in certain cases. And before you take any kind of a supplement, first of all, you need to consult a doctor. But even before that, if you are not sure whether you require a supplement or not, the best thing is to go in for a blood checkup. Get your blood work done and find out which minerals, which vitamins you're deficient in. After that, you consult a doctor or a qualified dietitian, and they will tell you which are the supplements that you need to take. But not all supplements are necessary. For example, if you are a pure vegetarian, you might require vitamin B12 supplementation or iron supplementation because your diet is lacking in iron and B12, because B12 is not found in vegetarian sources. If you're a person who doesn't take dairy items like milk, paneer, curd and all that, then probably you might require calcium supplementation or vitamin D supplementation. But otherwise, you do not generally need to go in for all kinds of added supplementation in the form of pills. If you're talking about powders, the various kind of protein powders available in the market, there are so many. But you need to know what is it that you're looking for. What is the reason for you to take? Any kind of supplementation should not be done for a long term. It should have a short span. You can take it for a short span to solve any particular deficiency or any particular purpose that you need to take it. You can take it, but always on the advice of a qualified professional.